Maxwell Hartley stood in the crowded cafe doorway, his hand gently holding his 4-year-old daughter Rosie's. As they surveyed the packed holiday scene, every table was full, groups of friends laughing over coffee, couples sharing pastries beneath the twinkling Christmas lights. At 37, Maxwell had grown used to the challenges of single fatherhood, but moments like this still tested his patience. "Daddy, I'm hungry," Rosie said, clutching her teddy bear tighter. "I know, sweetheart. Let's see if we can find a spot." He'd taken the afternoon off from his tech company, a rare occurrence, to spend time with Rosie during the holiday season. She'd asked for hot chocolate and cookies at the cafe she loved, the one with the big windows and Christmas wreaths. Maxwell would move mountains to make her happy, even if it meant navigating a packed cafe on a Saturday afternoon. "Excuse me," a soft voice called out. "I saved this seat for you." Maxwell turned to see a young woman sitting alone at a table near the windows. She was in a wheelchair, maybe 28 years old, with long blonde hair and kind eyes that held both warmth and a hint of loneliness. She'd clearly been sitting by herself, but she gestured to the empty chairs across from her. "I'm sorry," Maxwell said, confused. "I saw you come in with your daughter. Everywhere else is full, and I have 3 empty chairs." It seemed silly not to share. She smiled at Rosie. "Besides, I could use some company. It's not much fun drinking hot chocolate alone at Christmas." Rosie tugged Maxwell's hand. "Daddy, she has hot chocolate. Can we sit with her, please?" Maxwell hesitated. He didn't know this woman, and his natural protective instincts made him cautious. But there was something genuine in her expression, and Rosie was already pulling him toward the table. "If you're sure we won't be intruding," Maxwell said. "I'm positive. I'm Lily, by the way, Maxwell. And this is my daughter Rosie." They settled in, Rosie carefully placing her teddy bear in the chair beside her. A waitress came by, and Maxwell ordered hot chocolate and cookies for Rosie, coffee for himself. "Would you like anything else?" he asked Lily, "since we're sharing your table." "I'm fine, thank you, but I appreciate the offer." Rosie stared at Lily with the unfiltered curiosity of a child. "Why do you have a wheelchair?" "Rosie, that's not polite," Maxwell said quickly, his face flushing. But Lily laughed gently. "It's okay. She's just curious." She looked at Rosie. "I was in a car accident 2 years ago. My legs don't work the way they used to, so the wheelchair helps me get around." "Does it hurt?" Rosie asked with genuine concern. "Not anymore. It was hard at first, but I'm used to it now. My mommy died," Rosie announced with the matter-of-fact tone children use for devastating truths. "Daddy says she's an angel now. Is that why you're alone too? Because your mommy died?" Maxwell closed his eyes briefly, mortified. "Rosie, sweetheart, we don't ask people personal questions like that." But Lily reached across the table and gently touched Rosie's hand. "It's all right. You're a very perceptive little girl. I'm alone because after my accident, a lot of people in my life didn't know how to handle it. My fiancé left. My friends stopped calling. It's hard for people when someone becomes different from who they expected." The honesty in her voice made Maxwell look at her more closely. He saw past the wheelchair to the person, someone who'd clearly experienced loss and loneliness that matched his own. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "That must have been incredibly difficult." Lily shrugged. "We all have our challenges. Yours is raising a beautiful daughter alone. Mine is navigating a world that wasn't designed for wheelchairs. But we manage, don't we?" Rosie's hot chocolate arrived, and she began telling Lily about her teddy bear, Mr. Buttons, and how he was very brave and never scared of anything. Lily listened with genuine interest, asking questions and responding as if a 4-year-old's ramblings were the most fascinating conversation she'd had in months. Maxwell found himself relaxing, actually enjoying the afternoon in a way he hadn't expected. Lily was easy to talk to, intelligent, and funny, with a perspective on life that came from someone who'd faced real adversity. "What do you do?" Lily asked him during a pause in Rosie's chatter. "I run a tech company. Software development, mostly corporate solutions. It's demanding work, but it allows me flexibility with Rosie." That sounds impressive and challenging, balancing it all. Some days are better than others. "Today's a good day because I actually remembered to take time off." He smiled ruefully. "My assistant practically had to schedule spend time with daughter on my calendar. At least you're here now. That's what matters." Lily looked out the window at the Christmas decorations lining the street. "I used to work in event planning. I loved it, creating magical experiences for people. After the accident, my company let me go. Said my position required too much physical mobility. I've been trying to figure out what comes next." An idea sparked in Maxwell's mind. But before he could voice it, Rosie climbed down from her chair and walked over to Lily. "You're pretty and nice. Can you be my friend?" Lily's eyes filled with tears. "I would love to be your friend, Rosie." "Good. Because my daddy is lonely too. He tries to hide it, but I hear him sometimes at night when he thinks I'm sleeping. Maybe you can both be not lonely together." Out of the mouths of children, Maxwell felt his throat tighten at his daughter's perception. Lily looked at Maxwell, and something unspoken passed between them. A recognition of shared pain and unexpected connection. "Your daughter is very wise," Lily said softly. "She is. Sometimes more than I give her credit for." Maxwell took a breath, making a decision. "Lily, my company hosts events throughout the year. Client conferences, product launches, holiday parties. We always use external planners, but honestly, they've never quite captured what we need. Would you be interested in consulting with us? Maybe even joining the team if it works out?" Lily stared at him. "Are you offering me a job?" "I'm offering you an opportunity. Your accident doesn't define your capabilities. You said you loved event planning. Well, we need someone who can create memorable experiences. If you're interested, I'd like to set up a proper meeting next week." "I don't want charity," Lily said firmly. "I'm not offering charity. I'm offering employment to someone with skills we need. What you do with the opportunity is up to you." Rosie climbed onto Lily's lap, something she rarely did with strangers, and hugged her. "Please say yes. Then we can see you again." Lily held Rosie carefully, and Maxwell saw the moment her walls crumbled. "Okay, yes, I'd like that very much." They exchanged contact information, and Maxwell insisted on walking Lily to her car, a modified vehicle with hand controls. As they said goodbye, Rosie made Lily promise to come to their house for Christmas dinner. "If that's okay with your daddy," Lily said, looking at Maxwell. "More than okay. It would be our pleasure." 3 months later, Lily had become an integral part of Maxwell's company, revolutionizing their events with creative vision and meticulous planning. But more than that, she'd become part of their lives. She and Rosie were inseparable, and Maxwell found himself making excuses to stop by Lily's office, to have coffee, to simply be near her. On Valentine's Day, Maxwell showed up at Lily's office door with flowers. She looked up from her desk, surprised. "What's this for?" "For the woman who taught me that sometimes the best things in life happen when we share our empty chairs with strangers." He came closer. "For the woman who showed my daughter that kindness and courage come in many forms. For the woman I've fallen in love with." Lily's eyes widened. "Maxwell, I know it's complicated. I know people might think I'm your boss taking advantage, or that you might feel obligated because of the job. But none of that is true. You're the most remarkable person I've ever met. And I don't want to spend another day pretending I don't feel this way." Lily wheeled around her desk and took his hand. I've loved you since that day in the cafe when you looked at me like I was a person, not a wheelchair. When Rosie asked her innocent questions and you didn't pull her away in horror. When you offered me not pity, but possibility. Maxwell knelt down so they were eye level. Then let me offer you something else. A future. Together. The three of us. What will people say? I don't care, do you? Lily smiled through her tears. Not even a little bit. A year later, at their wedding, Rosie served as flower girl, proudly wheeling down the aisle beside Lily's chair, announcing to everyone that she'd known all along they were meant to be a family. In his toast, Maxwell told the story of that day at the cafe. How a lonely woman in a wheelchair had saved a seat for a struggling father and his curious daughter. Lily didn't just share her table that day. She shared her heart, her strength, and her courage. She taught us that love isn't about perfect circumstances or unchanged lives. It's about seeing someone fully, choosing them completely, and building something beautiful together despite the obstacles. He looked at his wife, radiant in her wedding dress, Rosie on her lap. Thank you for saving that seat. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for choosing us. Sometimes miracles look like empty chairs and kind invitations. Sometimes they look like children who speak truth and adults brave enough to listen. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe.